All right. Hello, everyone. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. All right. Hey, I just wanted to come on. I'm going to get my post game analysis in now. Shout out to the great Johnny Olden. I want to watch Colorado right now myself. So they're starting at 3:30. So I'm going to give my post game analysis. If folks start talking in the chat, I'll let this go a little bit longer. If not, I will wrap up and folks can watch on the replay because I'm sure a lot of folks are watching Colorado. There are a lot of big games tonight. Ohio State is playing Notre Dame later on, and Penn State is hosting Iowa. So, let me see. Let me make sure that I am live on YouTube. Whoever has joined, please smash that like button. Please let me know what you think in the chat. There is the red icon, so I am live. All right, I got Jim and Bo here with me. Jim was back on the sidelines. Bo is watching us from up above. All right, there's me. All right, so I'm going to play the intro, and then I will jump in. You guys know that those of you guys who have been back here several times, you know that I have my notes, and then we'll go over the statistics, the schedule, and again, if folks are there in the chat, chatting it up, I'll entertain the comments. If someone wants to come up, they can come up. If not, I will stop and go watch Colorado and Oregon. So I'll see you on the other side. Let's go blue. All right, everyone. Hey, welcome back to Big Discussions 76 Sports. My name is Dr. Anwar Youssef Dunbar. Shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned. Please consider smashing that like button. The likes are free and they help out with the channel. And also, please consider subscribing to the channel. That helps out a great deal. I want to thank everyone who watched my pre-Rutgers video from Monday and watched it throughout the week. That is very much appreciated. I want to thank all of my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If the algorithm brought you here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are early in the season, and these streams and pre-records will go throughout the season. If you want to donate something to the channel, my Cash App and PayPal are there. The Super Chat is live. If you're watching on the playback and something here resonates with you, you can also leave a super thanks. All right. Hey, the Wolverines are 1-0 in the Big Ten, and they just dispatched the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. So, well, you know what? Let's start with a word from, just because it's part of the culture here. Let's start with a word from one Brady Hoke.
We understand what Michigan football means and what Michigan football is. We will always be about the team at Michigan. This is never going to be about Brady Hoke.
All right. You know what? Let's have a word from Coach Harbaugh as well. Hold on.
Yeah, JJ, he had a near flawless performance. 11 for 12. And then one was dropped. That's tough to do. It's tough to do in day of the week in practice. And I thought he had a great game. He's playing really well. We'll start JJ next week.
Is that going forward or just for
game 3? By merit, he's he's earned that. He's I mean, just that's by performance, by merit.
So that was Coach Harbaugh last year after giving the job. Well, after JJ won the job, one of the concerns in the aftermath of last week's Bowling Green game was how would JJ play this week. JJ threw 3 picks against Bowling Green and had aside from the picks, he had a very Cade McNamara-esque game. Well, how is JJ going to play this week? How is JJ going to respond against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights? So, going over my notes here, Rutgers drew first blood at 14 minutes remaining in the first quarter. They went up 7-0 off of a touchdown pass from Gavin Wimsett to, which kid was that? Dramel, C. Dramel. I don't know what the C stands for, but the kid caught the ball in the middle of the field and then turned it upfield and ran it all the way down to the end zone. So they drew first blood. And what was interesting was Rod Moore was back from injury. I was looking to see who did what, and Rod Moore had the chance to wrap that kid up and didn't. And our team got gashed for that first touchdown. So Rutgers drew first blood. It's not the way you would have wanted to start the game off. And it's not the way you would have wanted to start the game off after last week's victory over Bowling Green with the 3 interceptions and the team looking a little bit lethargic. So, when they scored that first touchdown, you're thinking, okay, are we in for a Maryland, a Talia Tagovailoa Maryland type of dogfight here? Well, let's see. So Michigan went 3 and out early in that first quarter at the 13-minute and 1 second mark. JJ had the chance to get the first down, but he underthrew Colston Loveland. So right there, after seeing that, then you kind of say, okay, well, is JJ still in a bit of a funk? Is JJ going to have a bad day? Is JJ still hungover from what happened last week against Bowling Green? You know what? Let's get a word of encouragement from Vance Bedford.
He's a dangerous fellow. First of all, he has a pretty good arm. He has great poise, but what scares me about him is that his mobility.
Let's get one more word of encouragement from Vance Bedford.
Throwing the ball on the run is pretty accurate. So most defensive coaches, they like a guy who's like the Statue of Liberty, that he can't scramble. So when I pressure him, I don't have to worry about him running. JJ has the escapability that makes you nervous when you pressure him.
Okay, and we got to see JJ's legs quite a bit today. Okay, back to my game analysis here. All right, so Rutgers got the ball on the next possession, and there was a holding call penalty on their offensive line around 12 minutes. They had a false start, and around 9 minutes and 27 seconds, they punted the ball. Okay, so after our 3 and out, Rutgers got the ball back, and our defense held, but Rutgers also shot themselves in the foot quite a few times. I also wrote down here that Rutgers, they were going with the 3 wide out. They were going with 3 wide out packages. Early on, they were running the ball with success with their running back and also with Gavin Wimsett. There was a big run by Blake Corum with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. JJ's first completion was a screen pass to Samaj Morgan at 7 minutes. There was a big completion to Donovan Edwards, and then Michigan ran a flea flicker play with a big completion to Colston Loveland near the goal line. Michigan got on the board with 5 minutes and 56 seconds left in that first quarter. It was a touchdown run by Blake Corum. That was his first touchdown of the day. Let's see. Yeah, I was also a little concerned in this game because they noted early, Jake Butt and his co-host noted that Gavin Wimsatt was is a third-year quarterback, so he's been in. He played pretty well last year in the first half against Michigan, and he has the size, he had the mobility, and I don't know. I was looking for something to happen. Fortunately, after that first play, not much really happened. Okay. In the second quarter, around 15 minutes, Rutgers had the ball. There was a big false start against them. Their kicker missed the field goal, a field goal that would have put them up 10-7, but the score remained tied 7-7. At 12 minutes and 26 seconds, there was Michigan got the ball back. JJ had a big run. I think it was a fake to Blake Corum. I think everybody was fooled by that one. Everybody was looking at Blake Corum, and the JJ turned it up around the left side and ran the ball. At 9 minutes and 35 seconds, there was a big field goal miss by James Turner. At that point, you're kind of thinking, okay, we're going to be in a bit of a dogfight for this game. And I think that was after a delay of game penalty. Yeah, that was after a delay of game penalty. So Michigan shot itself in the foot, and then our kicker missed the field goal. So the game was still tied 7-7. Rutgers got the ball, but they punted at 7 minutes, 25 seconds. JJ completed a nice ball to Roman Wilson at 5 minutes and 55 seconds left in the second quarter. There was JJ picked up a lot of yardage on a big run at 5 minutes and 13 seconds. And then he hit Colston Loveland he completed a ball to Colston Loveland just shy of the first down marker. And then with three minutes to go, Michigan converted on the fourth. I think that was a JJ run, or it was a Blake Corum run. With a minute and 41 seconds left to go, JJ threw a touchdown pass to Samaj Morgan, and Michigan went up 14-7. So that was Samaj Morgan's first ever touchdown grab as a Michigan Wolverine. That sent the Wolverines into the locker room at halftime, 14-7. One of Jake Butt's big comments at halftime was the lack of separation. It involved the lack of separation regarding the Michigan wide receivers and the Rutgers defensive backs. So he was concerned that the wide receivers weren't doing their part to get open against Rutgers defense. Please smash that like button if you're going to hop in and hop out. No matter how long you're here, please smash that like button. That helps with the engagement. Those are free, and that helps me and the channel out. All right, so in the third quarter, Michigan was pinned back. Michigan deferred to open the game, so they got the ball to start the half. They were pinned back deep in their territory. JJ had a big fourth down scramble at 11 minutes and 21 seconds left in the third quarter. At 9 minutes and 30 seconds, he completed a pass, a nice ball to Roman Wilson. At 7 minutes and 30 seconds, JJ took a sack. I think there was a protection breakdown there. And James Turner converted a field goal to make the score 17-7. On the next series, Rutgers had the ball. There was a big pass interference call against Josh Wallace. And I think Rod Moore, he didn't play the entire game. And Jim Harbaugh noted to the sideline reporters that he was still battling injuries, and he wasn't in there the entire time. But there was a big pass interference called by Josh Wallace, and you're thinking, okay, well, is that going to come back and haunt the team later on in this half? Let's see. I noticed there was lots of blitzing using Mike Sainristil. They were moving him to the line of scrimmage and blitzing him early on. Let's see. At 5 minutes and 58 seconds left in the third quarter, Wimsatt completed a nice ball to his receiver, Washington, where the guy caught the ball in his fingertips and he was falling out of bounds. I think most of our fan base was hoping that would get overturned, but it was a good catch. Mike, Rutgers went for it on fourth down there, and Wimsatt threw the ball up, and Mike Sainristil intercepted the ball on fourth down and ran the ball back for a touchdown. So that was, he got a pick six. It didn't look like it when I was watching the game. I thought the ball had just dropped to the turf, but the ball was still alive. Mikey, as Vance Bedford calls him, kept his balance, and he ran the ball back for 6 points. So at that point, Michigan went up 24-7. Please smash that like button. If you haven't, no matter how long you're going to stay, please smash that like button. If you're going to stay, let me know who you are right there in the chat. Let me know what you thought about the game. JJ got a big first down run at the end of the third quarter. Let's see, in the fourth quarter, with 12 minutes and 38 seconds left, Blake Corum scored a touchdown, followed by a big JJ McCarthy run and 2 completions to Colston Loveland and AJ Barner. That put Michigan up 31-7. And then at that point, Michigan kind of took its foot off the gas and sought to get out of there without the win. Interestingly, Coach Harbaugh and the staff, they pulled Blake Corum with 97 yards. He needed 3 more to get to 100. But instead they put in Khalil Mullings, and Blake didn't see the field again. Well, you want to get out of there with all your horses healthy, but I wanted to see Blake get those 100 yards or more. So those are all of my stats on the game. Michigan was predicted to win by 26 points. Instead, they won by 24. I think that was close enough. I think we were all looking to see JJ have a good game and put that Bowling Green game behind him. He started slow. He was a little shaky at first, but I think we can all agree that he rebounded. Now, I will reiterate something Jake Butt was concerned about at halftime, and that is the amount of separation that our wide receivers were not getting against the Rutgers defense. So it was their first Big Ten game. There are bigger tests ahead, and they're gonna need more down the field throws and more separation from those opposing defensive backs as the level of competition increases. Let me know what you guys think there in the chat. I'm going to go over the statistics, and then I'm going to wrap this stream up. So I'm going to go to the ESPN site. That's where I've been going for most of this season. Yeah, so I'm just waiting on the technology here. There we go. Give me a second here. Come on, StreamYard. There we go. I like this view better than the other view. Please smash that like button if you haven't. So JJ went 15 for 21 for 214 yards and 1 touchdown. That was to Samaj Morgan. Gavin Wimsatt went 11 for 21 for 180 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. That was to Mike Sainristil, who returned that interception for a touchdown. Blake Corum carried the ball 21 times for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gavin Wimsatt led Rutgers in rushing. Our defense locked up their running back early on in the game. They were able to do some things with it, with the running game early, but our defense eventually locked them up. So Colston Loveland led all wide receivers with 5 receptions for 75 yards and no touchdowns. And Rutgers was led by C. Dramel. I don't know what that kid's first name is. He had 3 receptions for 85 yards and 1 touchdown. That was on the first series of the game. That was their only touchdown. Fortunately, it looked like after they scored that on that play, it looked like it could have been a long day for us, but it wasn't. What do we have here? Steve Cherry, JJ. Well, let's see what you guys have later on against Notre Dame. He says, JJ is the most overrated quarterback in college football, and it's not even close. Yeah, our offense does look a little bit sluggish. Well, it has looked a little bit sluggish early on, but as this game was going on, I was thinking, for whatever reason, this is our pattern. We start slow against Rutgers, and then as the schedule goes on, the Wolverine offense seems to gain steam. So this is not unusual for us for whatever reason. Okay, let me see, 21 minutes. Let me go to the team stats. Yeah, so in terms of third down efficiency, Michigan was 8 for 13. Michigan was 2 for 2 in terms of fourth down efficiency. Michigan generated 415 total yards. They generated 214 passing yards. Let's see. JJ threw no picks. Michigan generated 201 rushing yards on 40 rushing attempts for 5 yards per carry, an average of 5 yards per carry. The stats were pretty even in the first half, and then Michigan eventually pulled away, and that's how this differential in the total yards, this is where that came from. Michigan eventually pulled away in the second half. Michigan had 3 penalties for 18 yards. Rutgers had 5 for 30 yards. Michigan had no turnovers. Rutgers had 1. That was the Mike Sainristil pick. And then Michigan held the ball for 36 minutes and 8 seconds, and Rutgers held the ball for 23 minutes and 52 seconds. I'm going to go over the player stats, and then I will wrap this stream up so I can go watch Colorado like the rest of you all. I know some of you all are probably tired of hearing about Colorado, but they are kind of the epicenter for college football right now. But a lot of people are predicting they're going to lose today, and they're going to lose handily. All right, so I already went over JJ's stats. The running game, a lot of people are disappointed in the running game right now. Blake had but this is similar to last year. Blake is having a great start to the season, and Donovan didn't really break out until the end of last season when Blake got hurt. So yeah, a lot of people are scratching their heads now about the running game, but it's still early. We have to give him more time, but Blake seems to be back to the form that he was at last season. All right. So Blake carried the ball 21 times for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. JJ carried the ball 7 times for 51 yards. He had some really, really big runs. Both teams skillfully used those fakes to the running backs, and then the quarterbacks got out and ran around the edge. So Rutgers did that, but Michigan did that as well, and that's a valuable weapon for us. JJ took off running on one play in the second half where Rutgers was in man coverage, and all their defensive backs turned and ran on the field with our wide receivers, and JJ saw that around the right side, and he took off running and got the first down. And it's a tremendous difference. It is a tremendous difference having a quarterback like that in there versus having a Cade who is not as athletic and doesn't give you all of those dimensions. So these are the dimensions that everybody wanted last year during the quarterback competition. Let's see. Khalil Mullings and Donovan Edwards both carried the ball 6 times Khalil Mullins got some yardage late in the game. Colston Loveland led all wide receivers with 5 receptions. Roman Wilson caught 3 balls for 59 yards. Donovan Edwards caught 2 balls for 41 yards. Samaj Morgan caught 2 balls for 26 yards in his first touchdown. And A.J. Barner caught 3 balls for 13 yards. Michigan did not fumble the ball. There were no sacks today. I think that is a function of Gavin Wimsett's mobility, but also he was getting the ball out pretty quickly, and they were running a lot of those run fakes to their running back. So there were no sacks today. Mike Sanders still got Michigan's lone interception. That was a pick 6. Let's see. Joe Taylor returned the ball once for 13 yards. Samaj Morgan returned the ball once for 8 yards. Tyler Morris did not. It looks like he fielded a punt, but he didn't return it. And then James Turner went 1 for 2 on field goals. He missed that one after the delay of game, which brought the kickback and created more distance. And he was 4 for 4 on his extra points. And Tommy Doman punted the ball once for Michigan for 39 yards. And that was it. Everyone, please smash that like button if you haven't. I'm concluding my recap here. I'm going to pull up the schedule next. So I think overall, everyone was pleased with what we saw today. JJ started slow, but he rebounded and had a decent game. Not a spectacular game, but a decent game. The big thing was there were no turnovers. All right. So Michigan is 4-0, and they have completed their September homestand, and next week they go on the road to Nebraska to play the Cornhuskers out in Lincoln. They should win that one handily. Nebraska, well, against Colorado, they were able to play defense effectively against the Buffaloes, and then I think their defense eventually wore down. They couldn't generate any offense against the Buffaloes, and I think that's what came back to bite them. But defensively, they are a capable team. But I think the question mark will be whether or not they will be able to generate any offense against the Wolverines. And that's all I've got. A W is a W, as they say. And Michigan should hold its number 2 ranking in the polls. They pretty much held up to the prediction. The predicted total was 26 points, and they won by 24. So they did what they were supposed to do for the most part. Anyway, please smash that like button, everyone. Anyway, there are more games tonight, more exciting games. Colorado and Oregon are on right now. Ohio State is playing Notre Dame later on tonight. A lot of people will be watching that one. And a game that I am curious about is Iowa and Penn State. So there are a lot of big games later on today, and there's one on right now, Oregon and Colorado. So T Riddler, you've been a little active over here. I appreciate that. He says, I had to see the inevitable. So are you referring to us defeating Rutgers? It seems like the teams that I root for, you're rooting against. You're rooting against Michigan, and you're also rooting against the Buffalo Bills. So, but it's a free country. You can root for whomever you want to root for. All right. Well, if you're watching on the playback, I know folks are watching other games right now. But if you're watching on the playback, let me know in the comment section what you thought about Michigan's 31-7 victory over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Good win, Wolverines, on to Nebraska. I'm going to, let's see. T. Riddler says, who you got out of Penn State versus Iowa? Well, T. Riddler, this is going to depend upon Iowa always plays good defense. So it's going to depend upon how their offense shows up. And they have our former quarterback in Cade McNamara. Cade was a bit of a game manager. Devin Gardner and Sam Webb jokingly call him a check down Charlie. So it's going to depend upon how well Iowa can move the ball. I think Iowa will slow down Penn State just enough to make the game competitive. But the question is going to be, how many points can Cade McNamara and that Iowa offense put on the board? If they can put points on the board, they can beat Penn State, but the game is going to be in Happy Valley. So if you're looking for a prediction, give me Iowa by 3. Iowa by 3 in Happy Valley. All right, everyone. For those of you who don't know, I'm a writer and I am working on a sports-related book. I have a newsletter here. Please consider signing up. I heard a lot of YouTube viewers don't read. There's the 2-paragraph greeting. There's a button there at the bottom, and you can just enter in your email address there. The link is in the description box below. So that is all I've got. Yeah, so for those of you who watch on the playback, let me know what you think in the comment section. Were you scared early on? Were you unfazed early on? Is this game what you expected? We should retain our number 2 ranking. So look for, I will do a pregame. I will give a pregame offering on Monday, most likely, for the Nebraska game, like I did this past week. I think that works out pretty well. So, hey everyone, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the games, and hey, go blue. As always, remember that your attitude. Let me slow down. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. It was good to see Coach Harbaugh back on the sidelines. The new life. I don't think I've ever seen you before, but thank you for commenting. Says shades of the 1997 beginning to emerge. Interesting. You know, as I was watching the game earlier, and as there was speculation about the run game not popping the way everyone wants it to pop or expects it to pop, I was thinking about the 1999 team, Tom Brady's last season, his senior season. The running game with Anthony Thomas, the A-Train, and Jeff Backus at left tackle. I think it was left tackle, and Steve Hutchinson at left guard. It didn't pop. It was serviceable, and it was effective, but it wasn't spectacular. The same thing was true. Well, in the 2000 season, Drew Henson's junior season, and unfortunately his last season with us, that offense popped. The defense was mediocre, but it was good enough. So it's still early. The offensive line is still gelling, and let's see if your prophecy here is true in terms of whether or not this looks like the 1997 team. All right, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Again, if you're watching on the playback, please smash that like button. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and also let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, take care. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.